Well, a very good evening and welcome to the broadcast. Tonight we go political. We look at the state of the coalitions from the Azimio coalition, which lost some founding members, parties or founding member parties, to the Kenya Kwanza, which must also lose some members now. Now, the realignments ahead of the 2027 election is in the pipeline, and without a doubt, Azimio and Kenya Kwanza will not be vehicles in the next election. Peter Kaluma, member for Homa Bay County and lawyer, is in studio tonight. So is Dr. Alutalala Muhwana. He's an advocate and a political commentator. Stay tuned, for we're back with them in a moment. At KTN News KE, at NewsHour, use the hashtag NewsHour, and Polycarp Omondi is with us tonight on Sign Language. Let's get the show on the road, shall we? And tonight, we begin with some quick glance at the U.S. presidential election. Now, these are the numbers for you tonight. And the winner of this election 2024 is former President Donald J. Trump, the 45th, who has now become the 47th. He's the president-elect. The Electoral College votes, 277. The popular votes are just over 71 million. And he has garnered 51% of the total votes cast. And coming in at number 2 is the Democratic candidate Kamala Harris. The Electoral College, 224, just about 33 less. And the popular votes, about 66 million, just rounded off to about 67 million. And the ratio tonight is about 47.5%. And Kamala Harris, the Democratic candidate, the outgoing vice president to Joe Biden, is number 2 in that election. But I know you don't know that there are other candidates, because the only 2 Democrats and Republicans have been spoken about, but there are other candidates. And of course, Jill Stein of the Green Party garnered about 630,000 votes at 0.4%. No electoral vote. And finally, in this election, we have Robert Kennedy, an independent candidate, also 0.4% of the votes at just under 600,000 votes tonight. So this is how the U.S. election looks tonight. Donald J. Trump, 45th, now 47th. And tonight, Donald Trump has reclaimed that position of presidency after winning the presidential election, marking a historic return to the White House. Now, Trump secured more than the required 270 electoral college votes by winning the crucial swing states. As Finical Watch begins our broadcast tonight, the Republican Party has also taken control of the Senate.
Thank you all. Donald Trump's road back to the White House came through crucial victories in battleground states like Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Georgia, states that ultimately secured his return. With these wins, Trump surpassed the 270 electoral votes needed for a decisive victory.
I want to thank the American people for the extraordinary honor of being elected your 47th president and your 45th president.
Focusing on economic revival and national security, Trump's campaign resonated strongly with voters in economically struggling regions.
I will not rest until we have delivered the strong, safe, and prosperous America that our children deserve and that you deserve. This will truly be the golden age of America. That's what we have to have.
On her part, Kamala Harris found support among urban voters and women, particularly those advocating for reproductive rights. Yet, this momentum wasn't enough to secure her victory. During his campaign, Trump leveraged strong support from a coalition that included working-class voters, social media influencers, and prominent figures like Elon Musk. Elon's endorsement and significant campaign contribution helped amplify Trump's message on platforms like X, attracting young male voters and cementing a following among conservative influencers.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Dana White. I am the CEO and president of the Ultimate Fighting Championship.
Rallies and appearances with personalities like UFC's Dana White in the final days further energized his base. Despite controversies including past indictments and intense scrutiny, Trump's promise to enforce strict immigration policies, reduce environmental regulations, and boost the economy resonated widely.
We're going to have to seal up those borders, and we're going to have to let people come into our country. We want people to come back in, but we have to let them come back in, but they have to come in legally.
His vice presidential pick, J.D. Vance, played a key role by reaching out to typically left-leaning media, aiming to broaden appeal among independent voters.
He turned out to be a good choice. I took a little heat at the beginning, but he was, I knew the brain was a good one, about as good as it gets.
For Vice President Kamala Harris and her supporters, election night ended in disappointment. Her campaigns focused on inclusivity, economic equality, and healthcare, drew strong backing in urban areas and among seniors, especially women. But as Harris conceded, her campaign co-chair Cedric Richmond addressed supporters, urging them to continue in their commitment to core values and ensuring every vote is counted. The election has also seen Republicans regain control of the Senate, setting the stage for a potentially streamlined legislative process under Trump. This shift means Trump could advance policies more effectively than during his first term. As America's history unfolds, one thing remains clear: Donald Trump's victory marks a new chapter in the American political landscape, one that promises significant changes at home and abroad. Phoenix Oluoch, KTN News.